Good day everyone, my name is Ryan Jordan Yames from Science SC13. We are going to do an experiment about the classification of matter in our laboratory activity number 3. The materials that we will use are the plastic cups, soy sauce, salt, oil, sands, alcohol, three varieties of chips, flour, cornstarch, water, pair of scissors, spoon, stone, bond paper, and lastly, our worksheet. The objectives when we perform this task is to, first, to observe the mixtures and identify whether they are homogeneous or heterogeneous type of mixture. Second, describe the material's physical appearances and their uses. Third, and lastly, devise methods for separating the components of each of the mixtures. Let's get started. So we will now prepare the mixtures indicated. For our solid mixtures, we will transfer them into a clean piece of paper, our band paper, for a better view in our observation. So first, pinch of salt and 20 ml of water. So pinch of salt and 20 ml of water. So we will mix it. Second, 5 ml of ethanol and 10 ml of water. And 10 ml of water. Third, sand and stones. Sand and stones. So we will mix our mixture. Fourth, 5 ml of oil and 5 ml of soy sauce. So, oil and soy sauce. So we will mix it. And fifth, three varieties of chips. So we will mix the fifth sample. Actually, there is for cornstarch and flour, but although it was present in the materials, it was not indicated when we prepared the mixture in the procedure, but I will add it for our sixth sample because it will be needed later on. So flour and cornstarch. So shake it. As I said earlier, for our solid mixture, we will transfer them into our bond paper. So our solid mixture is here, in sand and stones. The, the three varieties of chips. And lastly, the cornstarch and the flour. So we have a better view of our solid mixtures. Now, we will observe the mixture whether they are homogeneous or heterogeneous type of mixtures. So to identify a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture, you can tell by looking at it. If you can see more than one component, it is heterogeneous. If you cannot, it is homogeneous. Example of homogeneous mixtures are coffee, orange juice, and milk because they have the same uniform appearance. While for heterogeneous, such examples are halo-halo and vegetable soup because we can see more than one component. So we will now identify uh, whether it is homogeneous or heterogeneous for our samples. So our first sample is mixture of salt and water. It is heterogeneous or homogeneous. So it is homogeneous because it is uniform in appearance. So the salt dissolve in water. So our first sample is homogeneous mixture. While our second sample, ethanol and water, they have also the same um, uniform appearance, so it is homogeneous. For our third sample, sand and stones, so it is heterogeneous because we can see the sand, the stone and the sand, they 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 do, they don't dissolve. So we can see that the sand and stone have two components. So what are those? Sand and stone. So it is heterogeneous. For our fourth sample, so it is an oil and soy sauce. So this is heterogeneous. So because we can see that they don't dissolve. So we can see it um it has a layer for oil and it has also for soy sauce. So they don't dissolve, so they are heterogeneous. For our fifth sample, the three varieties of chips. So because we can see there are three varieties of chips or three components, so it is heterogeneous. For our sixth sample, it is a homogeneous because it has a uniform appearance. So they are all white. So lastly, we will now proceed to the types or the methods of the separation of the samples. So first, salt and water, evaporation. Second, cornstarch and flour. For our cornstarch and flour, it is a sieve. And third, sand and stone. It is also a sieve. So we can try doing it. So we will put it in our sieve. So this method is called sifting. So we can see here the sand goes down in our plate. And those at the top, we can see our stone. So we can now separate the stone in the sand. So this is called sifting. And fourth, oil and soy sauce. So it is a decantation. So we will just, because the oil, we can see it from above. It floats above the soy sauce. We will just put it in another container. So see here. So this is a decantation. And fifth, three varieties of chips. So it is the method for separation is hand picking. So we will just use our hands. So we will separate so it was now separated. So 1 and 2 and 3. So the varieties of chips has now been separated. 6. So ethanol and water. So the methods of separation used are fractional distillation, but the much easier uh, technique are salting out, which is simple. We just put salt. So for ethanol and water. We just put salt in our mixture. So we can see here that it became a two-layer. So the first one will be for our oil, while on the while in the lower part is our water. So why they become separate? Because of our salt that we added. So this technique is called salting out. So I think it is common in chemistry when doing experiment, or so I heard. So that's all. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something such as differences in the properties of elements, compounds, and mixtures as that we perform. So this is the mixtures. Distinguish homogeneous and heterogeneous. And lastly, finding out the methods of separation of a given mixture. See you soon and goodbye.